So I'm doing a live video of an unboxing of my father-in-law's comic collection. I don't anticipate actually anyone viewing this video live. I just wanted to get on and create it. I'm going to do a bunch of new videos mixed in with the comic book unboxings, going through my father-in-law's collection. It's been locked away in his basement. Condition is more reader quality. It's been stored kind of like this since he had it. He used to pick them up at the University of Minnesota while he was in college. From what he said, they date mostly into the early to mid 70s. So I'm going to kind of go through them, share them with you guys, because I think there's going to be a lot more interesting books. And then what I told him for them is I would bag and board them for him, get them in a long box or short box, just get them more properly protected. He wants me to help him find any keys or anything that might be helpful for selling or whatever. I think he, might be at that phase. I don't know. He might also be very connected to these still. So the first group here, we've got some Archie books. I want to be mindful of these. So we got Archie. Well, let's go through them. I think it'll just be easier. Looks like a giant Christmas. You got your holiday Christmas. And as you can see, some of the spine and stuff, they're a little rougher shape. It might be easier if I like just this one off. Because he kept them in his backpack. He read them, but he felt like they would have some value, I believe, so he wanted to save them. We got some Dennis the Menace. So like that, you can see it's got, as that Spider-Man booth would say, JPG McFly would say, low grade is better than no grade. So, this one looks really interesting. Skull number 4. So I think, like I said, when I opened it up, everyone was like, hopes to find that holy grail. Like, is it going to be just like off the charts, like pristine, like, oh, this is going to be awesome collection? But it's still, I think, going to be a lot of great books. He's got an Excel spreadsheet, like kind of set up. It's not digital. It's like something he typed out back in the day that has everything on it. So I do have kind of a list that I can transfer over. So I'll have to also do some research. But I figured the best kind of research is just sharing them with the community. Sorry about my bald head. Hope the glare didn't hurt anyone. I'm sure there's going to be a few like this in there. Oh, look at that. Calvin from the Cali Hustle joining. He may be the only person that actually views this live, but I appreciate it. All right, so here's what we got coming on this next lot. And I think there's going to be just books that you don't see very often. In here, I think it'll be nice once I get them all bagged and boarded. If anything, just to have them put away nicely for my father-in-law. But like I said, he did tell me, if there's, to let him know if there's any that have, some decent or significant value. That number always varies to everyone. Like, what's decent or significant value for me? If I can get a $50 bill out of it, then, to me, that's decent or significant. That's a night out with the family. So, yeah, Calvin, comic books are there's a lot to learn. Then you got to figure out grading. But the good thing is there's a lot of apps that make it easy. I have CLZ Comics. Just because it's cheaper than Key Collectors. I think Key Collector probably gives you more information, but it's just more expensive. It's like was it like $3 or $4 a month or something like that? Maybe as I go, it'll be worth it. But the CLZ Comics, I think I paid $15 for the year. So we've got some Amazing Spider-Man. Maybe this is where we're going to hit some keys. So they're 20 centers, Amazing Spider-Man. We got 107. These are actually in okay shape. Oh, I spoke too soon. And you've got someone did some coloring. So 107, 108. Oh, we're missing 109, but it's got a little bit of a run. 110. 11. Oh, then we jump to 18. Yeah. So we got some older Amazing Spider-Mans. I think there's stuff I can find. I think there might be a couple gems in here. And I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know my head from my hind end, but I think, maybe we can find a first appearance or something cool in here. But compared to some of the ones that I've pulled out so far, the Spider-Man seem to be in a little bit better shape. So, 158. Oh, look at that. Packer Jeff. It's here to support the green and gold. Yeah, Calvin, you can comp the comics on eBay pretty good. That's a really good route. You can use Terapeak to get a little bit better idea of a 12-month average is what I would do. But the problem is the grading. A lot of it it's like records and stuff like that people want to know the grades or have an idea or have you commit to telling them a grade when you're posting it. So I don't know if they can do an INAD or whatever, but what I try to do is I slightly will say a grade under what I think it's at. And then I'll fill 12 foot. I'll get all the corners. I'll show some of the pages because they want to know if the pages are white or off-white. So I was going to, actually speaking of our friend Packer Jeff, I almost messaged you yesterday because my thrift store had some comic books and I wanted your input on whether they were worth picking up because they were selling them at basically cover price. They were the DC New 52. They're like the 23.3, 23.1. I picked up a bag of 4 because the only one that I found that had any decent money was the Kelly Hustle. Or sorry, not the Kelly Hustle. I just looked at your message. Was the Joker's Daughter one. But they're the ones with the 3D imaging on top. Calvin, they're graded by a couple companies, but CGC is the most premium one that you can get graded. CGC goes for more value than like CDCS and I forgot what the other one is. So CGC is the premium one. And what's valuable about CGC grades is they've tracked their grades over time. So you can go to their, I don't know if you have to have the membership or not, but if you go to their website, you can see what grades they've given out on books. So you can, know how many are in competition for a specific book. But if you're a full-time seller, Calvin, you should have a store at this point just because the money makes sense. And then you get Terapeak for free. So, yeah, I know like Magic cards and basically card stuff, PSA is the premium, but comic books, your best value is coming from a CGC grade. Giant size Daredevil. Too bad it wasn't giant size X-Men. Then I'd kick my computer and run out of here, screaming to the hills. Bro, if you get the basic store, you have Terapeak. Stop being lazy, log in on the computer, and you can see all that stuff. Fantastic Four. We got Galactus. That has to be something, right? Probably not. All right, so yeah, I got the Joker's daughter. That was the only one, Jeff, that they had that I found. That otherwise they were all like, so they were either 16 or $16 or 16 to 24 bucks for those 3D covers or lenticulars, you said. And the only one that I found that had any value was the Joker's daughter one. And so I bought that package, but everything else was there like, I might get double cover value. And I was just like, that wasn't worth it for me. I was going to send you, but I was like, I'm not going to bother Jeff about it. Ooh, looks like we got another viewer. We've got BJ Chester. I don't actually read comics all that often. I really am a fan of the cover art. So, and if you're just checking, this is actually a collection from my father-in-law. He had these, he read them. He would pick them up at the University of Minnesota bookstore while he was going to classes, and then he just saved them all. So this is his collection. He's asked me to help out with it some. So the first thing I was going to do is make some videos unboxing them. And as I unbox them, I'm going to bag and board all of them just so that they're a little bit more protected. So I haven't read all of them. They have all been read. In between classes at the University of Minnesota. Let's see, message. I run my whole business mostly from my phone, but if you can get around it, you can go to Terapeak and then log in. It's more of a pain in the butt, but yes, you can. It just gives you a better idea. I usually get higher value for things if I look at Terapeak, the full thing. Ooh, look at this. I got some old school Spidey here. I like the font on that. Was that Spidey 25? So yeah, some of these are nice and old. Now, as everyone or a lot of people who follow my videos know, my heart really lies with chromed out 90s titles. The ones I did read were in the 90s, the Wolverines, the X-Men, stuff like that. So that Thor, that's Captain America. This Thor's a little hashed on top. But hey, sometimes low grade is better than no grade. And if you're someone who just wants to fill out a collection, you know, it's not bad. So we got some Thor books. All right. So we made it through the first box. There were these two little gems in there. We got a super duper old Star Trek coloring book. Unfortunately, we do have some coloring. I feel like that was my brother-in-law who did that. And then we've got Encyclopedia Brown. All right, so that was the first box. I've got a couple other big boxes. I'll probably break them down. I just thought this type of comic would be a lot cooler, more interesting, and doing it live was just an easier way to kind of share it with you guys and get a little bit of interaction with some of my favorite people. What is Calvin? What are some common $10 plus comic books to look for? It's not really so like a modern $10 one. It would be like a variant cover, most likely. It's hard to say what a $10 book would be. What you want to do, or what I try to do when I purchase in bulk, is typically I want to get them for under 50 cents a book. And then I'm not as concerned what's in there. And what I'll try to do is runs. I'll try to take, if I can get, so what I recently sold was Batman Adventures, the first 87, minus the one key issue, which is 12. And I just put them all together, basically, in one big lot. And I sold it for $120 and to a buyer in Canada. So really depends. That's what you want to look for, especially if you're not sure. You want to keep your price tip ideally at 20 cents a book. You want to get quantities where you can do a run, and then you can look up kind of key issues. That's how I do it, especially since I'm not like in the chat. If he's still there, TPJ Comics, like that guy's got a memory. He knows his stuff. I don't know my comics to that kind of level. Like I'm a dabbler, new into it, so I don't know that much stuff. That guy could probably tell you like, oh, this is going to be a $10 book. Me, I kind of try to do it in bulk. I try to buy stuff at a low cost that I can kind of break up. But what I do then specifically is look for groupings, and then I just try to sell. I'll look kind of a general search to see if anything's what they call a key issue that has a first appearance or first part of a special storyline, like the Infinity Gauntlet. Those will have money. Otherwise, typically anything from the 90s is going to be kind of low. Like I guess a $25 book might be this popular right now is X-Men. I don't know the number, but it's the first appearance of Omega Red. And that's like a $25 book, which is kind of uncommon for 90s books. So, something like that. Like the first 90s X-Men, I think was like printed 8 million issues. So there's like as a number one. Number ones are typically really high, but like that's a low number one. So that's the kind of thing. Number ones, key issues, and then runs, and keep your price low. If I don't even really look through comics that much. If I can buy them, pretty good. Jeff, to get that information, do you have to have to pay for the Key Collector app, or can you use the basic function on Key Collector? I should download Key Collector and just mess with it. I just didn't want to pay for the subscription. I'll go grab what I've got coming too, just so you guys can see. So I've got two of these coming. So this one has Superman, Action Comics, Batman, Detective Comics, Brave and the Bold. So this is coming in future videos, and I've got another one just like it. So that's something that'll be mixed in there. Oh, that's why? I just watched that episode recently on the cartoon. So Calvin, that's also something. If you hear rumors, which by the time I hear any of those rumors, it's already too late and the prices have spiked on a comic. But anything movie or TV related, that book will get hype. All right, so yeah, so I'll have to download Key Collector and look into it, dabble with it more. I appreciate the interaction. I didn't expect anyone to actually be joining me for this. Let me know in the comments and stuff if you guys like this, if I should do it more as a live stream when I go through these, or if I should just do the video and post it after the fact. I do like the interaction part, messaging or sharing some information with you guys. But all right, I gotta get this cleaned up before the wife gets home. And I don't want to get in trouble. So I appreciate you guys being here just for the thing. Safety scissors. All right, Calvin. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I would have supported you on your live, but it was past my bedtime. I'm old and I can't stay up that late. All right, man. Peace.